Hello everybody, today's September 21st and this asynchronous assignment is about slope and writing equations. So slope is a measure of steepness of a line. It's the ratio of the vertical distance to the horizontal distance of a slope triangle. The vertical distance of the triangle is delta y. We also read that change in y. That triangle is a Greek letter delta, while the horizontal distance of the triangle is read delta x, or read change in x. So when we're looking at the line, we draw two values. We see how much it's going up, the change in the y's. In this case, this one is going up 2. And then we make a triangle across and see how far across. And this one, the horizontal change is delta x equals 4. So when I write the slope, all right, delta y over delta x, or change in y over change in x. In this case, it's 2 over 4. And this is equivalent. I can actually make a smaller triangle. I can reduce this fraction. I can make 1 over 2. Hopefully you can see how there are smaller triangles that I can make here. Equations. When we're writing equations, we're writing a story that is really describing the values for y and what happens to it. To the dependent variable based on x, that is the independent variable. So we see what's happening to y based on x. And so when we write this equation, we start y equals mx plus b. So really it's about y changing as the x does. The m is the slope or the change, and the b is the y-intercept or initial value. It's important to say here too that we can use function notation to write a linear equation. So instead of y, we could write this f of x, that there's this change happening based on the x's. Let's look at an example. So here I have a graph. And for the equation, one of the first things I look to is we start describing. And we'll look at the start. So I can see here the start initial point, or the y-intercept, kind of this 0 for the y's, is the point 0, 2. So it starts out up to kind of at the 0, the initial. The next thing we do is I'm going to draw a slope triangle. So to get to the next point, I see how far I go up. In this case, I go up 3, and how far I go over, plus 1. So that the y values are increasing 3 for every 1x. So really delta y equals 3, delta x equals 1, and my slope would be 3 over 1, or just 3. Putting it together, I can write the equation that y equals 3x plus 2. Sometimes I like to write it the other direction, so that what I have is really that y starts at 2 and then increases 3 for every x. They are the same equation, but just a different order. Let's look at one more example. And so if I look at the graph, and let's go ahead and describe it again. We see the start, or initial value, is here at -1, so it's starting at a negative value. And then let's check how it's changing. To get to the next point, I would go up 1 and over 2. So the y values are increasing 1 for each 2x. So it's my delta y is 1 and my delta x is 2. Putting that in the ratio, it's 1 over 2. And then to write the equation, I would write y equals 1/2 x minus 1, or if I write the other order, I would say y equals -1 plus 1/2 x. And what this really means is that I start my graph at -1 and I go up 1/2 for every x, or I go up 1 y for every 2 x's, however you want to read that. All right, hope this helps. We'll keep practicing and working on linear equations.